everyone, my name is Brendan Gendel. I'm the General Manager of the Entegra Coach Luxury Diesel Division. Today we're going to be going over the all-new 2025 Entegra Coach Cornerstone. There are some extremely exciting new features that I'm going to be showcasing throughout this video, but also some other items that I just love showcasing at any point, whether it's new or maybe something that we've been using for quite some time. I think there's no better place to start than the actual chassis itself. We're continuing to use a Spartan K3 chassis, which we've been using for quite some time. It's been a great partnership. But even more exciting, new into the model year 2025, you now have the ability to option the Freightliner SL chassis. You're going to get the exact same powertrain on either the Spartan K3 chassis or the Freightliner SL chassis, but now you have the option, if you've had good experiences with one or the other, that you guys have the ability to choose, whether it's a stock coach at your local dealership or you guys want to do a custom order and select every feature that you would like to have on this motorhome. The chassis is now up to your choice. It's something that we're extremely excited about. We've been showcasing this over the last couple months, and we've gotten a tremendous amount of positive feedback that, again, you, the customer, now have the ability to choose which chassis best suits you. But going back to some of those things that have not changed is going to be that 120-inch windshield. We're still using that panoramic beveled windshield that is going to give you 120 inches of sightline as you're driving down the road. Quite frankly, that is the best part about traveling in a motorhome, is being able to see the country. We want to make sure that we're giving you the best and biggest picture frame that we possibly can, while also increasing visibility. Something that we talk about quite frequently when we're going to dealerships or we're at a trade show and talking with customers or retail salespeople is this A-pillar right here. Our goal is to be able to shift that as far back as we possibly can to give you easy and convenient sightlines to both of your mirrors, while also increasing overall visibility. It's extremely important to us that you guys feel comfortable and confident while you're driving down the road. Piggybacking with some of the additional safety features, the Safe View Dash, you name it, it's something that has become almost a crux for our at least brand. We've also continued to use that cab forward design. Some people will call it almost the bread box style. We've given you a nice hard slope from the front of your windshield to be able to, again, increase your visibility if someone is standing in front of your motorhome. We want to make sure that you have the ability to see them. Maybe that's not ideal for a highway, but as you're traveling in and out of just a traditional RV park, we would, again, make sure that you have great visibility on a 360-degree parameter around your motorhome. Some of the other things that do continue to make the Cornerstone unique is going to be the automatic rain sensing windshield wipers. Again, that's going to be standard. So if you want to turn that knob to auto, this will do all of the work for you. You guys continue to focus on having your hands on the wheel and making sure that you're using your perimeter, I'm going to say add-ons, your mirrors, your 360 cameras, you name it, to, again, feel confident and safe. But one feature that does make the Cornerstone unique is actually this little panel right here. That's going to be your adaptive cruise control as well as your distance control. So if you do want to set that, you have the ability to have adaptive cruise as well as emergency assist braking on this coach. So that is going to be standard on the Entegra Coach Cornerstone. So again, there's quite an array of different items that make this unique. We're still using the beautiful Cornerstone cap. That's become our icon, almost compared to the Jeep Wave. There's nothing better than going into an RV park and seeing another Entegra Coach, because I guarantee these lights are lit up. It's something that looks absolutely stunning. Probably one of my favorite parts of the Entegra Coach homecoming is at night, and all you see are our sea lights lit up throughout the entire local fairgrounds. Something that, at least for me, is extremely special. In model year 2024, one of the items that we did add is actually going to be right behind this panel. It's going to be hot and cold water connection. So there's nothing better than making sure that this front cap is clean. Maybe, again, if you get to that local park and you want some hot water to be able to clean off that windshield, maybe you've captured some bugs along the way, to be able to clean that off. So again, there's quite a bit that's been continued on year over year, but again, there are also some new features that are going to be added for the new model year. That biggest is going to be that super luxury Freightliner chassis. Another thing is, we're going to be moving through the side of this coach. I always like to point out that little cap that's going to be right on the front cap, that's actually going to be part of the 360 camera. So one thing that is extremely hyper-focused from the factory here in Middlebury, Indiana, is going to be safety. So not just the adaptive cruise control, but also that 360 camera. You're going to have the ability to have that on while you're driving. So as you guys see, you'll notice quite a few cameras. There's going to be 6 in total. one in the front, one in the back, and then 2 on your driver as well as your passenger side, that you'll be able to get a nice seamless photo as you're driving down the road to be able to get a good picture of what is on the side of your coach. The last thing that I want to talk about in safety is actually going to be your blind spot monitoring. That is actually going to be an icon on the inside of your mirror. So again, maybe if that 360 camera, if there's inclement weather that maybe doesn't give you as perfect of a sight line as you're hoping for, again, don't forget these mirrors are going to be not just useful for the mirror itself, but also the icon to showcase that there is some blind spot monitoring or there is something in your lane to be aware of. So as we move through the driver's side of this coach, this was added a couple years ago. I've absolutely come to love it. This does light up, so it's not just the front of the coach that we're able to advertise that you're driving a beautiful Entegra Coach Cornerstone. We've also added this badging on the side. This also does light up. But one thing that we've become extremely aware of is people wanting nice and secure step wells. So one thing that we've added on a lot of our products and continued to use on the Cornerstone is a solid footstep step well to get in the inside of your coach. No longer are you going to have to work on the spongy bouncing stairs. This is going to be a solid foot well. So if I open this door, you guys actually have the ability to see this. It is a nice solid piece of aluminum. So very little, if any, flex as you get under the inside or as you're leaving your coach. Still continuing to use our keyless pad system. So if you need to get into your coach, maybe you forgot your keys, no big deal. You guys have the ability to set this to a custom code of your guys' choice, as well as use a doorbell. So maybe if you have guests coming over and you don't want to have to constantly get up to check to see if they're here, have them use that doorbell for easy convenience. As we transition to the length of this coach, one thing that has become extremely apparent for us is continuing to use this exact same slide mechanism, but also more importantly for us is this seamless box itself. So we are noticing a lot of people in the RV industry are actually going to a capped design similar to what we would use on a Riata or a Riata XL. For us, not only does this give a perfect aesthetic look, it is that seamless transition from slide box to the side wall. Again, personally, I think that this is probably one of the best designs and concepts that you can use aesthetically and functionally. But more importantly, it ensures that all of our slide boxes are 100% square. When we cut these slide walls out, we are actually using the exact same slide wall from the wall to the box. So we are 100% confident when we make this entire wall, it is one piece, then we cut out this seam. That is the way that we're able to continue to use a seamless transition cap rather than having the fold on the outside. We're getting a nice tight seal when that does come in to make sure that no water, air, whatever it may be gets on the inside. As you're driving down the road, there's nothing more of a nuisance than that air noise. Again, this is going to be the tightest seal that we can possibly design here at the factory. So again, something that aesthetically looks absolutely phenomenal, but also I think the overall functionality is superb. So we're going to continue to use that on our Aspire, our Anthem, as well as our Cornerstone. As you can see, there's another one of those 6 cameras right above me. That's going to be, again, part of that 360 camera system. As well as one thing I always love showcasing is our push button baggage doors. So we started using these a couple of years ago. And again, part of that seamless look, not just on the actual slide mechanism or the slide box itself, but also on the baggage doors. So if you do want to open these doors, all you do is hit that. It will light up green if it's ready to open. It will light up red if it's locked. You also have the ability to unlock or lock these doors from that keypad. So again, you have the ability to customize if you want to unlock just your baggage doors, your entry door, lock them all, unlock them all simultaneously, you name it, you have the ability to do so. If you do have an electrical issue, by all means, there is a manual key override for all of these doors. For us, it's something that's extremely convenient. One push of a button that will open up itself. As you can see, it wants to do so. And again, the locking is the exact same way. Behind this door is actually going to be a standard cooler. One thing that we talk quite lengthily about at our dealer trainings or with customers, we try to limit the overall number of options that we have. This is a perfect example. We build a vast majority of our coaches with more standards rather than options. This is a perfect example. So this is going to come standard with a Camco freezer and refrigerator. It is a 2-in-1. You have the ability to customize how you would like to utilize that. That is on an Easy Glide tray. So no longer having to worry about lifting maybe a 50, 60 pound cooler full of ice and beverages. You have the ability to make an easy slide out. Be able to enjoy some additional entertainment out here. Speaking of entertainment, one thing I do want to talk about is going to be the overall Girard Nova 2 awnings. So those are going to be a integrated awning that gives, again, a traditional luxury diesel aesthetic. This is going to be standard on all of our Aspires, Anthems, as well as our Cornerstone. So that will be a painted and integrated awning. Again, aesthetically looks great, but the functionality of it is even more important. As those come out, you don't have to worry about any flexing or bending. There's extreme durability with those, in enormous amount of shade that provides. So you're going to have 2 cassettes on this, one in the front as well as one in the back. Under that, you have the ability to have more, again, standards. This is going to be your exterior entertainment. That is not something that you guys are going to have to option. These are smart televisions. So you have the ability to make sure that this is going to be the #1 spot to be hanging out. If it's a traditional picnic, maybe you're going to go out and be the center of attention at the tailgate party with this beautiful paint scheme. You have the ability to have this as an all-inclusive, almost resort, if you want to call it, between the enormous awnings, exterior entertainment, smart TVs. There's a wide array of different technologies, which we'll cover here shortly. But this is, again, just another example of more standards that we're going to continue to be building here at Entegra Coach. Speaking of that, right under here is going to be a nice additional easy glide tray. So not only do you not have to bend over and reach that to pull that out, this is going to be an automatic switch. So if you want to bring this large tray in and out with one push of a button, you have the ability to do so. On a Cornerstone, you're actually going to get 2 of these trays. You're going to have one in bay 2 and then an additional in bay 3. So you'll have 2 of those large trays to be able to utilize. Before I get too far, I want to touch base a little bit on the construction, both the sidewalls, the subfloor, the roof, and some of the other features that are on that. One thing that does make Entegra Coach extremely unique is the construction process. Right behind this beautiful silky blue full body Sikkens paint, there is a lot more to the Entegra Coach story. Under here is actually going to be roughly a 5-inch subfloor. That is one of the reasons that we're able to accommodate being the quietest riding, best handling coach on the market. That is our goal on every motorhome that we build. The Cornerstone is actually the crux of us being able to do that, giving us a beautiful chassis to build on. It gives us a beautiful foundation to build our home on. A 5-inch subfloor is going to be the base, 2.5-inch sidewalls, and then roughly a 6-inch triple insulated roof. So with that, not only are we increasing the overall depth of the subfloor, but we're also increasing the ability to dampen that road noise. So we have multiple layers of plywood. Those are going to be built on 2x4s with batten insulation. Our sidewalls are also going to have traditional house batten insulation. Roof is going to be built like a traditional home. So that is one of the reasons as people are driving down the road and they're test driving multiple different brands, they go, wow, that Entegra Coach was one of the quietest that I've ever driven in. It's because of the way that we're building our motorhome. We would love to be able to showcase that. If you want to come and tour our factory, we'd love to be able to showcase you what is actually behind this beautiful paint. So check out our website, reach out to us, whatever's most convenient for you, but the story of Entegra Coach is actually going to be behind the walls, and it's something that does make our product extremely special and very unique. As I was mentioning up on that roof, just so you guys are aware, you are going to get 3 air conditioning units with heat pumps in each of those. You're going to get standard 400 watts of solar. And you'll also have Starlink high-speed internet up there. That is going to be the high-performance version of Starlink. What was really neat about that, we're experiencing an influx of people that are going to be working while they're traveling. Whether this is a full-time home for you, or maybe you're just doing a week-long getaway, you still want to be connected. That Starlink internet is going to be a must-have as you're traveling. It's going to give you high-speed internet pretty much wherever you are at in the country. You do have the ability to turn that system on and off. So if you're going to be traveling for a 30-day period, turn the system on. Once you're done, call Starlink, connect with Starlink, let them know that you are done using their service, and they will immediately turn it off. It is not a reoccurring billing cycle. So you do have the ability to, again, use it when you need it and then deactivate it when you're not. So again, something that is really cool about that system. So again, as I had mentioned multiple times thus far, there are a ton of standards. All of those are going to be standard on our motorhomes for at least the Aspire, the Anthem, as well as the Cornerstone. So as we move through a little bit deeper, one new thing that was added for model year 2025, we now have a 175-gallon fuel tank. So we have increased that, again, trying to make sure that you're able to capture whether maybe it's a good fuel price or eliminate the quantity of stops that you're having to do. That was something new for model year 2025. But one thing that has continued to make the Cornerstone special is the chassis itself and partnering with Spartan. The chassis that we're looking at right now is a Spartan K3 chassis. You'll notice that this does have passive steer on the tag axle, but the cargo bay itself, it's something that I've always loved about the Spartan chassis, is this bay, having everything centrally located for preventative maintenance. If you need to change any air filters, your dryer, chassis battery, your main disconnects. And another neat thing that Spartan has always continued to do are these little serial numbers. Everything is color coded and serialized on what needs to be changed if there is something that's broken. It allows our customers to be able to assist in expediting repairs if ever needed. So this cargo bay, again, very special for the Cornerstone, and will continue to be even moving forward. A couple other things I do want to talk about on this coach is going to be what is on the passenger side. So over there for new on model year 2025, we do have a water softener prep. That was something that actually our current owners were requesting. We noticed over the last couple of years, a lot of people adding water softeners. So we've done all of the prep work to hope, again, in expediting that process if you would like to add that. You're also going to have a new 600D AquaHot system. That's actually going to triple the output of what the AquaHot system for prior years was doing, with a more efficient system as well. So again, if you guys are going to colder places, that AquaHot is going to be utilized for more of a furnace. That is a great system and an enormous upgrade from prior years. If you're going to be using it as a water heater, again, a great benefit to be able to expedite heating up that water for you guys, and giving you a little bit longer of a period of consistent hot water. You're also going to have your side-mounted radiator, macerator system, in a wet bay that does have a 2-degree tilt. So if you guys do need a little bit of additional assistance, maybe you're on a grade that you weren't hoping for to dump your tanks, that 2-degree lift will actually lift up your passenger side to be able to assist in dumping any excess water that you guys have on the inside of your coach. So we're going to jump on the inside. We're going to talk about probably one of the biggest things for model year 2025 on the Entegra Coach, Aspire, Anthem, as well as this Cornerstone right behind me, for what is new on the model year 2025. So now that we're the inside of this beautiful 45D Entegra Coach Cornerstone, you'll notice one of the biggest updates for model year 2025 is there is no carpet. It was something that we have been working on for the last couple years and wanted to make sure that when we came to market with this, we were still able to use the exact same Reliatorque slide mechanisms that we've become extremely well known for. The reliability of that Reliatorque mechanism was so important to us that we wanted to ensure that we did not have to sacrifice that system while still eliminating carpet on the inside of this motorhome. You will notice that is something not only are we excited about, as well as our customers. So new for 2025, if there's one thing that we're going to be continuing to praise, is that we have no carpet with the exact same slide mechanisms. So as you guys start to see different angles of this motorhome, check it out. It's something that, again, we're extremely proud of. We've been working diligently, but most importantly, we wanted to make sure that when we did come to market with this, that it was something that was going to be reliable, avoid any overall detriment, whether it's tile cracking, you name it. But again, most importantly, that we can still use the exact same slide mechanism. So as you guys, again, we'll shift around here that you guys will have the ability to see some of these. We also have photos on our website. It's something that, again, I don't want to continue to reiterate this, but we are extremely excited about how this turned out, the overall aesthetic, and the functionality that we've been able to accommodate during this process. So again, you guys will be able to see this as we shift around this motorhome, but I always love starting at the front of our coaches. This is going to continue to use the Safe View dash system. So this is on a Spartan K3 chassis. So you'll notice the Spartan K3 tripod steering wheel. All of your I'm going to say traditional and most used buttons are actually going to be right at your fingertips. It's always nice to have the overall convenience. If we're going to put a Safe View dash that gives you a tremendous amount of sight lines as you're driving down the road, pairing it with this tripod steering wheel from Spartan is almost a must. It's been a great partnership. But right behind that wheel is actually going to be the upgraded leather that we're going to be using for model year 2025. But more importantly, this is actually a heated and ventilated seat. So again, depending on the climate that you guys are in, I would imagine most of us would love to be down south, and probably where a vast majority of our customers are, the ventilation may be used a little bit more. But this is going to be our Prosecco leather decor. So if this is something that you guys like, make sure to check it out on our website. There are more photos, but there are 2 additional true Italian leather options that would be available. Right behind me that I was blocking is actually going to be our center stack. So if you look here, all of your convenience features are actually going to be integrated right into this pillar. So it is something that is extremely nice to have. You'll actually notice the 360 cameras are beginning to kick on, but all of your audio, climate, your shades, you name it, all of those features will actually be able to be utilized right here. You also have some overrides for your Bergstrom HVAC system. We are continuing to use those oversized panels. It's something that, again, we get a lot of positive feedback over the last year and a half that we've been using that. In regard to the output, if you guys want warm air coming out of that, Bergstrom air conditioning or the Bergstrom HVAC system is going to be able to accommodate it. Same with cool air as well. Nice entertainment Samsung television up here, and again, this Stonewall gray cabinetry. You guys will be able to see more of that. That's become a fan favorite, probably hands down one of our most popular cabinet colors. A couple years ago, we did remove the high gloss portion of that, and it is a traditional, more of a natural look, but I think it looks great. We also have some new pulls and hinges as well that have been added for model year 2025. But not to jump around too much, again, continuing to use that Safe View dash. That will be on both your Spartan as well as your Freightliner chassis. So don't feel as if you're going to be missing one thing, missing out on one thing or the other by selecting a specific chassis. Again, that is going to be completely up to you, the customer, on which you would prefer to build on. So as we move into this coach, as I mentioned, this is going to be our 45D, but this is going to be optioned with the, if you want to call it, our entertainment system. This is going to be perfect for couples. Maybe you don't plan on having a large amount of people that are traveling with you. This is a great way to be able to make this a perfect couples coach. A nice fireplace down here, some additional storage, Bose sound bar with a nice large 50-inch television that, again, is going to be a smart TV. So again, this is something that is probably optioned more frequently than most people would think. But one neat thing here that I always love to showcase is, again, just the additional storage that we have throughout this motorhome, as well as the overall usable and functional space. So if you guys need to use this as a workstation, by all means, you have the ability to do so. If you guys just need some additional countertop space, you can use it in that manner as well. And right below, you obviously have a traditional, whether it's a wine cooler that you're going to be utilizing it as, or just a beverage storage spot. The choice is yours. One thing that we have added as an option for model year 2025 is actually going to be this area rug. So these are going to be optional. If you guys would like to purchase these, they will be available. We've actually paired them with the overall decor. So the flooring that's actually going to be under that is going to be our Coastland Balboa, or I'm sorry, our Coastland tile floor. So again, if this is a color option that you like, by all means, there are a wide variety of choices that you have available. You have other still porcelain tile floors, but just different colors. You also have a nice high gloss, I'm going to say tile, more of a traditional tile that's available. So there are quite a few different color options that you have available at your choice, whether you want a darker leather or maybe a true high gloss flooring or a lighter color cabinetry. There's a wide variety that would be available for your guys' choosing. This is going to be a traditional recliner, so you have the ability to, again, make sure that you are as comfortable as you would like to be. We've also added some additional stitching for model year 2025 to give the overall aesthetic something a little bit more, again, in 2025. I think Pat and his team did an absolute phenomenal job. But even more importantly, for the new model year, we have added automatic rising headrest. We recognize that not everyone is 5'10" like myself. We do have some additional customers that may be 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". So having this as a flexible headrest was extremely important to have that added. So you'll notice that that is actually rising. You have the ability to have a little bit more of a flexible space to make sure that you're comfortable. That was just another great addition for the model year. As we move through a little bit further in, storage, that's always been extremely important to us. You'll notice that there is a ton of storage here. These are obviously going to be true hardwood cabinets, but behind that, we also want to make sure that there's usable space. So we've come to the realization that storage is way more convenient than having maybe some additional valances or larger windows. When it comes to the reality of usable space, we think storage is always going to end up winning, and it's one of the reasons that we'll continue to use that is at least a feature that we would love to showcase to you guys. Nice pivotable chairs. Again, that was something that was added a couple of years ago. Now that we have been able to remove this carpet, there's a nicely seamless transition that still gives you a nice flat, solid floor to be able to have dinner, breakfast, lunch, whatever it may be. If you guys want to use this as a workspace, again, that Starlink internet system will be able to provide you enough data that you guys will be able to not have to miss a beat, whether it's work or just maybe some personal items that you want to accommodate on the road. I'm going to transition over here just to showcase a couple of things. In the kitchen, we have updated some of the coloring, again, dependent on the overall aesthetic that you've selected, as well as the optional, or I'm sorry, standard dishwasher, but you now have the option to delete that if you would like additional storage space. Again, that's something that Pat and his team are constantly talking about, is storage. So we have the ability to, again, instead of wasting that space, if you don't plan on using the dishwasher, to have additional storage under there as well, with a traditional drawer, as well as an induction cooktop with a convection oven above. So again, this is for the 2025 Entegra Coach Cornerstone. I'm going to pivot around. I'm going to talk about some of the new features in the rear end of this coach, and we'll go from there. So we flipped around now. I'm going to show you the back half of this 45D Entegra Coach Cornerstone, but I wanted to showcase a few things in this little galleyway. Obviously, we're going to continue to use full residential size refrigerators. I think the French door looks absolutely phenomenal. This does give you both water as well as ice, but something that we did add new for model year 2025 is actually going to be this paneling. So we've added ventilation. We had a lot of requests from our current owners of making this a little bit more of a functional space. Nice full-size drawers, but again, giving it some ventilation. So you'll notice on certain floor plans, the 45R is a perfect example on our bunkhouse, that we're going to more panels like this, again, to add a little bit more airflow on the inside as well as the outside of areas like this, whether it's a pantry, a bunk, whatever it may be. So you guys will notice this style will be showcased on all of our floor plans, just in a little bit different area. As I switch and pivot over to this wall, one new thing that we have utilized for 2025 is the Victron energy management system. So that is going to be our inverter that is going to be, again, pairing with our entire house energy management system. So one of the neat things is we're actually able to use Victron's screen. They've done an absolutely phenomenal job being able to make it as easily understandable as possible, whether you are bringing in electricity, if you're drawing or exerting more. It's a very easily understandable screen. By no means am I an electrical engineer. Victron has made it very easy to at least have a grasp of if you're charging, if you're discharging, in a simple manner. So for us, it was a great partnership. Pairing with that, we will also be coming out with a Lithionics full lithium system for this coach as well that pairs extremely well with Victron. So it was a seamless transition for us going into a new lithium system that is going to pair with a very well-known and capable inverter. But right above this screen, you guys are probably very familiar with this, is going to be our multiplex system. This has become something that has been utilized and extremely easy to use. Over the last year, we have updated the overall functionality of it and the aesthetic of it to make it even easier to use. We did have certain customers that were saying it was probably a little more complex than what they were hoping for. So what we've done is actually ensured that we have the exact same function, just in a little bit easier manner. So exterior lights, water pump, fresh gray and black tank, air, you name it, everything is going to be on here. But again, in a little bit more of a reorganized manner that I think has been very well received. So by no means are you sacrificing anything that you had on an older system, just in a little bit different of a layout, as current owners will be able to see. So that was something that was extremely important to us, again, is the overall functionality. You still have the ability to do all of the same features through your network diagnostics. If you have any faults, you name it, you'll still be able to get through from this screen. Because this is a 45D, this will be a bath and a half, so you're still going to get your mid-bath through here. Solid surface countertops, obviously, throughout. And again, even more storage. That is going to be a macerating toilet, so you'll have the ability to use the macerator from the inside of your house, as well as through your wet bay. So again, making sure that the fluids that need to get out are no longer solid by the time they need to be exerted. So one thing I always like to talk about, and I think it gets overlooked sometimes, is our airlock system. So on our front door, as well as our pocket doors, some of our customers on their first test drive, or even owners, don't know what that plunger sound is when it hits a block of wood. That is actually our entry door, as well as our pocket doors, securing themselves before you get down the road. As I mentioned on the outside of this coach, our goal is to be the quietest riding, best handling coach on the market, period. This is just one of the many ways that we're able to accommodate that. So as you release that air brake and you begin to drive, you'll hear that plunger sound. What that's doing is actually securing that door so it doesn't rattle as you're driving down the road. It's something that is extremely unique for our product. And again, without having been on a test drive or being a current owner, you can't see it. So I always like to talk about that. Again, whether it's with customers or if we're doing sales training, it is something that, again, does make us unique. By no means is our goal just to throw out a marketing term that we're the quietest riding, best handling coach in the market. We want to stand behind it. That is one of the very many ways that we're able to do so. As we move into the bedroom, a beautiful king-size bed. We do now have the option to do a wood headboard. So if you don't want any fabric in the inside of your room, you have the ability to option that as a wood headboard. I think Kathy, our decor team, did an absolutely phenomenal job making the aesthetic of the 2025 product look absolutely phenomenal. Some beautiful paintings, mirrors. I think they did a great job laying this out without having to sacrifice any of that storage. Nice large wardrobes back here. Again, there's just storage everywhere. So we don't want you guys to have to sacrifice not bringing something that is important to you on the road. There's more than enough space to do so. You'll also get a standard first alert safe back here. So if you guys do have some valuables that you want to make sure, again, that you have the ability to bring with you, that you have a nice secure spot to do so. So behind me is actually going to be the bathroom. There are some new decors. There are dual sinks back here. A nice one-piece shower that is going to be a hand-laid tile. I think it, again, looks absolutely stunning, and a beautiful walk-in wardrobe. So they've done an absolutely phenomenal job for 2025, updating some of the aesthetics, and I think hit an absolute home run. So that is the new 2025 Entegra Coach Cornerstone. We hope that you guys love it as much as we do. We're extremely excited to get this product out in the market. You should be seeing it here anytime now. Our team has been working diligently to make sure that we're able to accommodate this with the highest quality that we possibly can. Speaking of quality, we're continuing to have our 2-year warranty. It's going to be one of the industry's leading warranties. So we want to make sure not only, again, are we just advertising it, but we're also standing behind it. All of these features that we've talked about throughout this video. So if you guys have any additional questions, anything else that we can support with, whether it's a factory tour to see this beautiful home being built, if you guys need some sales support, customer service support, you name it, we are here for you guys. So if there's anything that we can do to assist, please reach out to either a local dealership of your guys' choice. Reach out to our team here in Middlebury, Indiana. If you guys want a factory tour, make sure to get connected with our sales department, and we'll make sure to help you. Again, my name is Brendan Gendel. I'm the general manager here at Entegra Coach Luxury Diesel Division, and I appreciate you guys watching this video and look forward to speaking with you soon.